Here are the research paper instructions. A draft of your research paper is due Tuesday, July 28th by 11:59 p.m. Please don't include the reflection. You will be peer reviewing someone else's paper in your group, and they will be peer reviewing your paper. The point of this is that you can find out what you need to fix on your paper and then revise it before turning in the final paper. The peer review will take place on Wednesday, July 29th. The research paper itself is due Saturday, August 8th by 11:59 p.m. There are 135 points for the final research paper and 25 for the draft. Assignment overview. Choose an ethical dilemma that has global implications. Use the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and identify an article or articles that is being violated on a global scale. One way to do this is to identify a human population that has been targeted and experienced oppression, discrimination, and marginalization such that their safety is compromised. Think about how the oppression experienced by this population is a violation of one of the UDHR articles. Write about how this population is known to you personally, how it exists in your local community, and how that population experiences a lack of safety throughout the world at a global level. The goal of this paper is to use what you have learned through this semester to think critically about an issue with global implications from multiple perspectives while connecting how the issue impacts you and your responsibility to the community. Using the ethical decision-making model we studied in a framework for thinking ethically, you can follow the steps to solve this dilemma. Be aware that the idea of solving the issue may be hypothetical. For example, identifying options or solutions to solve the issue of religious oppression in the Middle East may not be feasible. However, speculating on ideas that might be a start to solving an issue can prove useful. A topic proposal, which is the instructions are in another video, an annotated bibliography also in another video, a draft of this paper, and a peer review are all part of the process for completing your research paper. Required content for this research paper. 1. State the ethical dilemma that has global implications. Discuss why this ethical dilemma is important to you. 2. Identify at least one article from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that is being violated. 3. Describe the population whose human rights are being violated. Give examples both locally and globally. State the facts that describe how the safety of this population is at risk. 4. Describe at least two groups of stakeholders with a vested interest in this issue and analyze their interest in terms of at least two cultural frameworks: economics, historical, political, social, or religious. Be sure to note the stakeholders who hold power versus the stakeholders who seem to have less power in this issue. Refer to the ethical decision-making model in a framework for thinking ethically from Module 2 as a way to analyze this ethical issue. 6. Identify a possible solution by finding at least two specific laws, policies, organizations, people, or other actions that demonstrate an attempt at addressing the global issue or solving the problem at 1. The global level, 2. The local or national level. Analyze the solutions or laws that are already in place in terms of how effectively they are addressing the issue. Are they practical, feasible? Are they having an impact on this population? Answer the reflection questions on a separate page. Do not put this in your draft. Reflection questions include A. Given your understanding of your own cultural and social identity, your own perspective as a stakeholder in your own life, how do you believe this understanding impacts or influences your perspective on the issues researched, discussed, and evaluated for this project? B. Describe how your research and writing of this report contributed to your own understanding of local and international issues and what was significant for you. C. Describe how your understanding of ethical frameworks or decision-making models has been affected by your research for this project and the class as a whole. What might you be aware of in your future as a diverse member of the local and international community? Okay, I'm going to read this again. Describe how your understanding of ethical frameworks, decision-making models has been affected by your research for this project and the class as a whole. What might you be aware of in your future as a diverse member of the local and international community? How to complete this assignment. 1. Include a minimum of 7 resources, including 2 books, 2 peer-reviewed scholarly articles, and at least 3 other good resources about this ethical issue. 2. Material from resources must be properly quoted using direct quotes, summarizing, and paraphrasing throughout the paper. See the library session for help. 3. Include a complete citation references page at the end of your paper. 4. Complete a draft of your paper and submit in peer-reviewed discussion board by 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, July 28th. Peer review at least 2 papers in the peer-reviewed discussion board by 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, July 30th. 5. The reflection at the end of the 4th week will be a statement describing in detail how you will be revising your paper. 6. Your final paper is due in Blackboard by 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, August 8th. We will be done with class at that point. 7. This assignment is to be typed double-spaced using a 12-point font with standard 1-inch margins. Please put your name, date, and UF200 at the top of your document. 8. Grading. This assignment will be graded based on the rubric attached to the assignment in Blackboard. I will not be reading every piece of this rubric again. Writing must meet appropriate grammar and syntax standards, no spelling errors, evidence of revision, and proofreading. Your writing must adopt an appropriately formal tone and voice and level of formality for the document that reports in detail the information required in the instructions. Written formal tone is consistent such that all sections combine to provide a consistent document. The report is consistent in organization and all details of the assignment are included. You clearly identify and analyze the ethical issues through analysis of at least 2 cultural frameworks from the perspective of at least 2 groups of stakeholders for each targeted population. The reflection questions are all answered and demonstrate careful thoughtfulness given to the answers. The report summarizes accurate information about your 2 targeted populations as described in the required content. Evaluate, synthesize ideas from sources well, document sources according to accepted course conventions using a consistent MLA or APA style. Include at least 7 sources using 2 books, 2 peer-reviewed articles, and 3 other sources. Submit your research paper correctly in Blackboard. I'm going to go back to the previous slide to correct something. It says on this slide that you need to have 2, which slide is it? That you're going to talk about 2 populations, but really what you're talking about, I want to correct a mistake. It says that you need to talk about 2 populations, but you're really talking about 1 ethical issue that affects a population in your local community and affects a population in the global sense. Finally, ask your group members if you have questions about this assignment, or you can email me your questions and I will answer them. Thank you.